Hi everyone, Art Teacher Reviews here. Sorry for the long hiatus between videos. Without going into too much detail, we've had a temporary international move. And it's taken me a while to actually find a craft kit that I wanted to review. Um, I hope you enjoy this craft kit I found at the range in the United Kingdom. So here's the Range's website, and I just searched for Christmas craft kits, and you can see the one I chose came up in the search. There's a huge variety there. You could probably spend quite some time browsing. The Range is a UK retailer. I'm not sure if it ships internationally offhand. So here is the box. It makes two gonks, costs £1.99. The brand is on the left corner and it just says wishing you a Merry Christmas. I don't know if this is the Range's own brand of craft kits. Not really sure. The instructions are just one sheet, very visual with limited text on there. Here is everything in the box. You get three different colours of wool and all the other contents you can see on the screen. So here I'm just cutting the lengths of the red wool at 17 centimetres. What I didn't realise until I had cut the lengths and flipped over the instruction sheet is that you need one longer piece at 18 centimetres to tie all of your pieces when they're attached to the cardboard ring. So just to be aware of that. Here I'm making my first loop of wool onto the cardboard ring. Now mistakes were made here which I'll go into. So it's actually a little difficult to see just from looking at the image on the instructions. It looks like there's quite a big knot, but what it really is it is just your loop onto the cardboard ring. What I thought was you had to then tie another knot after you'd looped it onto the cardboard ring, and you don't. So yeah, mistakes were made. So, because of my thinking, I thought, oh, that's quite a big knot, and it's really fiddly to do with the cardboard hoop. So, what I decided to do was trim down the cardboard hoop, which I didn't really need to do. And after I did this, I realised that it is just the loop of the wool going round that looks like a big knot, and not having to do another knot. So as you can see, just from doing the loop around the cardboard ring, you get that nice knot effect, which you can see clearer here. So here I'm just trying to neaten up the loops I've made on the cardboard ring, just by moving around the loops and tightening them up a little to get them to look a bit more uniform. So then came to tying up the strands of wool. Now I didn't cut a longer piece, so I ended up actually cutting a longer piece from the white wool so I could actually tie it. The short piece of red wool I kept trying to use just kept fraying, so I got a bit frustrated and just used a piece of white wool. Here I'm just kind of zhuzhing up the wool, and you can start to see the bubble hat start to take shape, which is so cute. Then I just give the strands of wool a haircut for extra bobbliness, so it looks more like a bobble hat. And here she is, the finished bobble hat. Honestly, this kit was worth it just for the knowledge of how to make these. I think these would make a great year 6 or 7 lesson, which would be 10, 11 year olds in the US, I think, for the Christmas end of term lessons. You could stretch it out over 2 lessons, I'm sure. Make them for snowman, for early finishers. Also, on a slightly bigger scale, wouldn't they make great place settings for your Christmas table? Now I'm starting to make the gonk's beard. Same process of the loop knots we did for the hat, just now we're using the white wool and they're going on the plastic ring. You also cut the wool slightly shorter than the hat length. I believe it was 11 centimetres rather than 17 centimetres like it was for the hat. Again, another thing I overlooked when doing this is I cut all the white wool to length and just kept merrily, Christmas pun there, adding them to the plastic hoop, then realising that all the white wool is actually for the 2 gonks. So just cut them all and then pile them up into 2 separate piles evenly, so you've got enough for the 2 hoops beards. Adding the gonk's nose was probably the trickiest part. I'm still not entirely sure that mine's quite attached as it should be just from looking at the instructions, but I went with it, and it looks okay, so. Yeah, the gonks, the adding the bead, which is the gonk's nose, is definitely the hardest part, and I had to use a very thin paintbrush in the end to push the wool through the bead. Just a side note as well, I did also add 2 glue dots to either side of the hoop to stop the hat from slipping up. I don't know if you can kind of get that impression from the footage. So after some beard trimming, here is the finished gonk. I have to say I was really impressed with this craft kit. I did feel like the instructions could have done with a few more sentences to explain the process rather than just the images. But overall, is it worth £1.99? Absolutely. I mean, you make 2 little gonks, and you make, a 3D macrame bobble hat, which was kind of the deal breaker for me. I love that.